We have received some questions from some of our followers regarding restorative art, and I wanted to touch on that a little bit. Any individual that comes into our care that needs restorative work done, every situation is going to be different. No two are going to be the same, but let's touch on a few of the products that we use here in our prep room. One of the products we use is called Dryene. The label has kind of come off on this bottle, but this is a topical product that we are going to use to, say for example, dry out an open wound on someone's face. After that wound has dried, we do have the ability to use mortuary wax. I actually did this for one specific individual in our care who had a gunshot wound on their cheek, and I was able to dry out the area, fill the area in with wax. There are times too where we need to stitch. Here's some ligature that we keep here in our prep room, and if we need to get other ligature as well, something that's more thin, we can certainly do that. We do use, let me get them here, all sorts of different needles here in our prep room. You might wonder, why do you need different types of needles? Okay, perfect example. When I'm suturing someone and I've made my incision here on the clavicle, oftentimes it's easier for me to use a smaller needle like this as opposed to a larger one like this, specifically on a larger person where there may be more fat around this area. I find it easier to use a smaller needle. That's not necessarily a restorative art scenario, but I wanted to share with you why I might use a smaller needle in that situation. Of course, after we've covered an area with wax, we need to recreate what looks like skin. We can use paper towel. We can use different products in the prep room to create pores on someone's face. And then, of course, we have makeup. Our makeup is mortuary makeup. I have all sorts of different makeup that you can buy through a mortuary supply company. We use frigid fluid chemicals here in our prep room and also their mortuary makeup, but I can also use something like L'Oreal or Maybelline. It all really just depends. Again, every situation is going to be different. It really just, it depends. The most, like I said, I've shared with you, I did have someone who was shot in the face and had to make that individual presentable for a viewing, and the gunshot wound was on the left-hand side of the face and not on the right-hand side. And what I mean by that is when you view someone in a casket, you typically view them from the right-hand side. Now, had that person been viewed from the left-hand side, they would have been completely viewable and you never would have known that there was trauma to their face.